Welcome back to Le Foot, your podcast about French football. And this week it's part 2 of awards, where we will look into the goal of the season, we will look into the coach of the season, this year's MVP, and we're also going to give you the youngster of the season. And let's go.
Hello and welcome back. How are we doing, gents? We're doing good, Charlie?
Really happy to finish these awards off, and I think the categories today, they are a little bit spicier than last week. I mean, really looking forward to, for example, hearing your signing of the year and also the goal of the year. I think it might be some differences here.
Yeah, less predictable compared to last week for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Who wants to start off? Do you wanna start, Jeff?
I can start. So I will actually start in that end. I'll start with signing of the season.
Yes.
This is a player who's been playing in the French league for a long time, but he came back after flourishing a few years in Italy. He came back to Lens and had a fantastic season, helping the team to win Coupe de France, and it's of course Florian Thauvin. We're talking about signing of the season.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty good signings, but Florian Thauvin, what a player and what a season. And I mean, I don't think many people could have thought because of his age.
33.
Yeah, and I don't know the numbers actually from Udinese. I don't follow that closely, but some decent seasons, right, in Italy?
First two were decent, but then I think he didn't come up in his full capacity the last year, which might be one of the reasons why he felt that the fresh breeze in France was calling him back.
Yeah.
But moving on, young player of the year. Doué won for the second time in a row, and he was one of the players that I thought about giving this award from me, but I'm gonna go with Zaïre Emery. When Fabian Ruiz went out injured in PSG, I think he really took that next step and showed that he was worthy of all the praise he's been giving recently. So yeah, in the league, and we shouldn't be that much, or we shouldn't be that influenced about these players playing in Europe. But how he's played for PSG in Champions League as well. So he's gonna have to go with Zaïre Emery here.
Nice.
It's a good one, and I mean, 20 years of age, still super young, but I think giving out performances like he has the routine of a 30-year-old star player. I think not a bad pick at all, and sometimes a bit forgotten with the shining stars up front for PSG. Do you think also that his homegrown talent for PSG makes him be forgotten as well a bit? It's not a signing from outside, or is it just that he's young? Because
might be the reason, but I think it's more the fact that Dembélé and Kvaratskhelia have stolen the light this year, or the last couple of years. So, and also PSG, since I think Zlatan came in some years ago, they've always had one star player or three during some periods. So I think that's how a lot of people see PSG. They see PSG and then they directly navigate to their best player, which is now currently Dembélé. So a lot of the players behind that might not get, the praise that they deserve. I think, a lot of people really start recognizing Vitinha, for example, last year. But I think it's this year when people that does not watch French football regularly have really understood the quality of him. And I think we'll see something similar with Zaïre Emery, going into next year as well. So, yeah.
No, definitely. And I think we talked a bit about, when we talk about awards and Dembélé, about played matches. He has played plenty in Liga and has done it tremendously well. I think it's a very good pick. Also with the strategy, PSG has communicated they want 11 homegrown players eventually. That's the goal, Parisian developed players. And then this kind of player is like a talisman because it shows that you can do it with the local footballing talents right there. Okay.
Jumping over to goal of the year, and there was a few contestants here, but I've decided to go with João Neves' second bicicleta against Toulouse because he scored 2 in that game, and I'm gonna go with the second one.
Yeah.
I can see Dennis is smiling here. He might have thought something similar.
Maybe.
Nice with a bicicleta in this category.
He scored 2 in the same game.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But the second one is more of your, 10 out of 10 bicicleta. But I also, thought a little bit about Balogun's goal against Monaco, against Marseille.
That's a nice one.
The chip he had. And here I also think that Dembélé has already actually been rewarded goal of the seasons up until now. So he got the official prize.
Against Lille, when he is dribbling and doing the chip. I mean, we've seen, you realize when you look into the goal, looking back now over the season, there's been so many quality goals. I mean, every week I would say we have a mention of a goal in this podcast. And it's because it keeps coming, bangers. And it's something for everyone. Some people like bicicletas, dribblings, raids, long shots. I mean, there's so many categories, and I think there is a personal preference here, which makes it really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, next category. What do you have for us?
Coach. So I thought about O'Neill in Strasbourg for...
I read something about that it's considered to be a lose transfer with Rosignol to Chelsea, O'Neill to Strasbourg. And I guess the third lose would be for Blueco because they lost on both parts. You have Strasbourg not playing European football. They did not also reach the final, which they had a good chance to do in the Conference League. And then Chelsea, we all know what happened there. And then if you think about Rosignol as a manager, you can consider there is a lose there as well. Maybe not in the pockets, given that he had a Chelsea contract. But okay, tell us.
Yeah, so there was, that was obviously a joke. But then, I'm thinking here that... we actually play, or we do this episode a bit, before we release it. So as of today, the Champions League final has not been played yet. And what I want to say with this is that, if PSG and Enrique wins the Champions League again, I think I'm going to have to go with him as, coach of the year, because it's hard to take away a prize for Coach of the Year who wins the league and the Champions League, 2 years in a row. Even though the other name I'm just going to mention, or I will mention in a second, it's hard to argue against that. So I will go with Enrique if they win the Champions League. But if not, I'm going to go with Pierre Sarge for Lens, who also came in this season. So I had him in mind for the signing of the season as well. But I can't give him too many prizes. He's big enough already, so he's a big lad. I'll give Pierre Sarge the Coach of the Year.
Very interesting.
And also, here, he gave the confidence to, a lot of players. To Van coming back, not performing that well in Udinese last year. He also gave, Risser the opportunity to, really play. He hadn't played that much before, so... You can also see that he gives trust in his players, and he's really, gotten a long way with just 1 year in Lens. So, kudos to Mr. Pierre.
Yeah, and I think I can just fill in there. When it comes to player development, you have Sangaré, you have Thomasson, you have Wesley Said, you have Tovan. You have so many players in this squad who have improved as professional football players under Sage, and it's not that he's been there a long time. He came last summer. It's incredible. Okay. Do we have any categories left?
MVP. So this was a tough one, really. And I did a bit of digging, and it's interesting because The French league since 1993, 1994, since when I went back a little bit to watch that. It's out of that's about 30 years from now. 15 times in these 30 years, a French player has won this award.
Oh wow!
So I mean, taking the same statistics, I didn't go into the Premier League and La Liga and all that, but I don't think we'll see a league given the best player of the league to a player who is from that country. So I think that says a lot about France here. Dembélé has won it 2 times in a row now, and also on this matter, Mbappé won it 5 years in a row. Before that, I mean, he was absolutely smashing it. But when it comes to the MVP here, I have written Zaire Emery, but I'm going to change my mind when I say it and go with Vitinha.
Vitinha.
Yeah.
But here, because it's so interesting with the MVP category, because I always think about if you pick this player out of the squad, there has to be a big hole. And I would say definitely with Vitinha, as you're arguing, he is the engine of this fantastic PSG, letting the rest of the team flourish.
Yeah, definitely. And that when Fabian Ruiz went out, they had another player inside Emery who could step in on the midfield in PSG, for instance. Whereas if we would have played with a scenario that Vitinha, were out for quite some time, I don't see any player in PSG who would go into that midfield and do as well. I mean, last episode we said that he's passed the most amount of passes throughout the league, and also with the greatest successful rate. So, I mean, I think that says quite a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be Vitinha for me.
Interesting.
Good, but then to sum it up, bring it to us in short.
Signing, Tovan. Young player, Zaire Emery. Goal, Raul Neves. His second bicicleta against Toulouse. Coach, Pierre Sage. And MVP, Vitinha.
Nice.
Really good. Dennis, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Bring it to us.
Okay, let's go. I actually also for the signing wrote down Thauvin. I think he's done great for Lens this season. But I'm actually gonna go with Risser. Going from Strasbourg for 3 million euros. I think it's insane what they've accomplished with him in Lens this season. So it seems like a Lens heavy awards here.
Yes.
But I think,
deservedly so. I mean, given the season they've had. Yeah. Okay, Risser.
And I actually want to mention Le Paul in there as well.
It's easy to forget that he came.
Signing.
He even scored a goal for Angers, a winning goal early in the season in August before he transferred to Rennes.
Ooh.
So been scoring goals in 2 different shirts in one calendar season. Yeah, but that's a good. It's very easy to forget because of the season he's had.
Yeah, so I think that's even though he's, I mean, they're in the middle of the table, but just an honorable mention there. Youngling, I'm gonna go with Douia. Just insane. He's just an insane player, and a joy to watch. Also, Risse, I could have picked him as well, but then I think I would have picked Risse if we take the last episode as well. It's like 3 times. So I feel like I don't wanna do an all Risse episode here or a streak of episodes. There are no feelings attached.
Your girlfriend needs to be worried here.
Yeah.
There is a crush ongoing.
Yeah, no, there's not. But I want to mention Matondo is someone a prospect to look forward to in the youngling category.
And for Matondo, we need to mention he's only he's turned 18 now, but he was 17 for much part of the season, which is a young age to play on this level. I think we see sometimes youngsters in smaller leagues getting some play time, but he was, mid-season transfer to Paris FC, 15 million euro, and he has played and done some decent performances since. So I think a good call out.
Interesting. It's going to be interesting. Favorite goal? I lost a bit there with Juan Neves, but I'm going to say Dembele's goal against Lille. It's an amazing goal. And I think I want to, if we go into detail there with how that even came to be, because he must have had such a good awareness of all the players around him, especially the goalkeeper, to even have the intuition to ship in that. He's in the penalty area and not quite, he's not far out from the goal. So to choose to chip in that position is, I feel like just to have that intuition is so interesting.
Yeah, and I just can fill in. He's also dribbling before. Imagine that technique. And then I think it is 3 defenders and a goalkeeper between him and the goal.
Yeah.
And he still managed to chip.
Yeah. It's so...
and when he does, it feels like that's obviously the best shot you can take from there. Because as you said, there's more or less 3 to 4 defenders somewhere in front of him. So shooting there, it might, go on the defenders and then it goes wherever. So when he makes a chip, looking at where the goalkeeper stands, is like, yes, I would have done the same. But, making that call and making the chip as good as it is beforehand, dribbling all these players, and all of this goes so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So
I have a question here. Jeff, on the local pitch down close to the basement, if we played a 11-a-side match, how many chances would you need before you could score a goal like that?
So I would like to, change the question a bit and be more like, if I would have received the ball where he received it, and if I would have been able to score somehow, then I would probably be able to score if you gave me, I don't know, 50 times. Maybe.
Okay, once in 50.
But to score the way he did it, with the dribbling.
Yeah.
And then even though I would have been, managed to dribble in the way he does, and then also to execute it with that chip, with my left foot, if I'm going to have to be specific.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably going to be more like 1 in 1,000.
Yeah, 1 in 1,000.
Because I'm right-footed.
That's why. Yeah.
That's true.
No, I can't see many players technically actually managing that, even professionals, because that is the highest of footballing levels. Great pick.
Yeah. It's a lovely goal.
It's what's that prize called again? Not the Ballon d'Or, but the greatest.
The Puskas.
Yeah.
Puskas Award.
Is it the Puskas?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a contester for the Puskas.
Oh damn.
As well.
It should be.
Okay, moving on. Coach, my pick is going to be Luis Enrique. I feel like it might be a boring choice to go with PSG here, but
you could argue he's the best coach. You mentioned already, I think in the last episode, Jeff, that he is the best coach in the world right now. He's showing tendencies. He has also performed over time.
Yeah. So I think, it's quite obvious for me. But I want to mention what Koumbaré and Frank Heis has done for each respective team since they came in mid-season.
That is a good one.
It's really interesting, and I hope that Koumbaré will continue next season. It's going to be interesting to see.
He really got Paris FC flying. And it's interesting that you mentioned Frank Heis, because he came to Rennes during his tenure, taking a lot of points. I mean, taking over from Habib Bey, I think Rennes transformed over with Francaise.
Yeah.
But the tricky thing with Francaise is that we have to remember the first part of the season when he was in Nice, and it was a complete shit show. And they, you know, they were in a deadlock where he was like he wanted to leave, but they didn't want to fire him and pay him any money, and the fans were beating up players and everything. So I think it's a good call for his time in Rennes. But if we look at the full season, he really has a two-faced one. And maybe honor mention to Habib Bey as well, who completely missed the task at OM coming in. But no, that's of course some irony in there. And maybe some bitterness, but good.
Yeah. MVP, Thauvin.
Oh, I like it.
Thauvin.
I like it.
I think he's an extraordinary player and what he's done this season for Lens. Just like Risser. I think without those two players, I don't think that they would have been where they are today, at the top of the tables at the end of the season.
I like it.
Those are my picks.
Very, very
interesting. Neither of us had any picks that were exactly the same.
No, that's true.
So here I come,
Charlie.
I'll do copy paste of. But I should actually start then. Let me see the signing of the season. You're speaking about having some unique picks. I don't. I'm with you, Jeff. That the Thauvin for me, and I mean we can just see he brings the trophy home eventually with the coupe. I mean, 17 goals and assists in Liga, and 3 goals in the coupe as well, not to be forgotten. And
scoring in the quarter, semi, and final.
Yeah, and I've understood the transfer fee was around 6 million euro, which I think for the impact he has had is just such a great one. And so that one is the same. The goal of the year. Here it's interesting because none of us have the same, and maybe it says something about the different flavor profiles that we have. But I take Tamari versus Lyon for Rennes, a recent one, when you have the long cross and he hits it directly on volley into the back corner. I mean, they lost that game, which for me sometimes impacts the feeling of a goal. But I just love that kind of Zidane-like strike. You know, he hits it on one. And I think I would never be able to replicate that with my any of my feet, to be honest. A long cross. We should go down to the local pitch and practice. But yeah, that is the one.
That's a nice pick.
It is. And then I have to pick the coach. And I'm not going to be that unique. I picked Pierre Sage. I think, you know, giving PSG a battle for the Liga title is almost the biggest achievement. But then topping it up with a Coupe de France title, the first one in Lens history. And he does so, and this number gets stuck in my head. When you look at the market value of the squad that he has had in possession, it's actually on the 8th place in Liga.
Oh, damn.
It's right above. It's like 15 million euros more than Nice.
Oh, wow.
And then you have almost 50 million less than Rennes.
But is that list also, you know, including players in Lyon and Marseille who's on loan? You know, they get a bit of influence with like market value of Endrick and Greenwood and stuff like that.
It is from Transfermarkt, and I think they can take into account the contract. But it is a good question. I mean, for example, we can take OM. They have 386 million euro, which is the third largest market value of squad, which is crazy to think because I don't know what players in that squad makes up the value of almost 400 million euros.
Well, who's the second team then?
Monaco.
Yeah, okay.
391 million euros. And then, yeah, just, you know, that achievement to do that. And the previous season, they were 8th, Lens. So just that build-up and everything he has done is incredible. Another one which is not unique, but my young player of the year is Zaire Emery. I think what he has shown as a 20-year-old is just remarkable, and he plays as a mature midfielder. He does the hard work, but he also has some finesse, and I look forward to seeing him growing over the next couple of years into an even better player, if that's possible. That leaves us with one category to go.
MVP.
That's the MVP. And I just want to state here that I focus a lot which player would leave the biggest hole in their squad. And I have to go with Lassin Sinayoko.
I mean, I understand if you think from a perspective of being what would the team that plays against Auxerre in this case, what player would they rather take away or not to play against. So now I understand that argument, but you can't go with Sinayoko as MVP in Ligue 1. That's like taking that argument to the next level and the next one on top of that.
I'm gonna make a case for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a case for it. I see the criticism, I hear it, but he is the sole reason why Auxerre will play in Liga next year. And I don't know how much money. Sometimes there is these figures. A Premier League club gets this much for playing in the Premier League. Liga club gets this much. I don't know exactly. I need to look up the numbers. But when there was 3 matches left, he scored 4 goals and assisted 1. And 3 victories, which is exactly what they needed to clinch a safe spot. And of course, there is Danoise, who has been great. That duo, for sure, but without Sinayoko, I think Auxerre would definitely have been relegated.
But before those 3 games, and in between he went to play AFCON, there was about 6, 7, 8 games where he scored nothing. And Auxerre as a team scored nothing. I think, it was maybe 1 or 2 goals.
That is a fair point.
He showed up the last 3 games for sure, but
that is a fair point. And I think one other person I thought about here was actually Thauvin. Because how I view the MVP category, of course you're saying I take it to the next level, but I focus a bit like I think the Americans do when they assess their sports. If you think about a PSG player and remove him from that club, will they still be able to win the league? I think any player you can remove from the PSG 11 and they will still win Liga. I think Lens, Thauvin, you could argue that I don't think they would be in that position if you remove Thauvin. But I think if you look at Thomasson, you can look at Sangaré. There is some other players as well who did great seasons who are very important for their club. And that's why I land in Sinayoko, because the whole would be too great. And of course, I'm a bit subjective here. We have followed him closely, and he finished off the season in style. But I'm going to leave it at that. I understand the criticism.
It's a good one.
It's my MVP for the year.
Well, he definitely is MVP.
For Auxerre.
For Auxerre. No, but I think it's a good take. I think it's a really good take, and as you say, Auxerre would not be in Liga next season if it wasn't for Sinayoko.
No, and I just want to finish off by saying that there is a bit of rumors now of Premier League interest. I think there was something from Crystal Palace and some other club, and the fee that is being discussed is around 10 million euro. It's nothing.
That's interesting that Palace, a middle team in the Premier League, signs the MVP of Liga. They're really gonna crush it next year.
You can turn it around and say they are signing a terrible player from a bad club. Bottom club.
He's not a terrible player.
No, not terrible. But what I wanted to say is that they are talking about a price tag around 10 million euro, which I think honestly is a bargain.
But he's about 30.
No, 26.
26. Okay. Yeah. But then I assume, or I hope for Auxerre's business, that he does not have that many contract or years left on his contract, because otherwise that would be a bargain.
It is really a bargain.
Because especially how, not to go too much into depth about Palace, but like their style of playing, with a center tank, that can provide, goals and that physique. I think he will fit perfectly in a team like Palace.
Yeah, and I mean, I think when you look at the kind of performances he has put up, I think 10 million euro is too little. I know he's not a youngster, but I just want to add here as well that he has only played for Auxerre. He's a one club man, which is not easy to get by these days. So I, of course, really hope he stays. And if he doesn't stay, I think that they should get hefty of money for him. Maybe 20 million euro. Or they should squeeze a bit more out of that.
Yeah.
And then I know they're going to struggle next year. That's also a bit into my MVP thing. I think if you remove him this summer, I am a bit worried for us there.
Yeah, because, if they get 10, 20 or 30 million, no matter what sum, I mean, let's say they get 30, finding another attacking forward for 30 million euros that will produce about 10 to 15 goals, it's hard to find on the market.
Really hard.
So they're going to have to make a gamble with those money, and you don't know if you're going to get a Kevin Carlos or another Sinayoko.
Kevin Carlos.
You don't know.
All of a sudden he stands there. The new signing is Kevin Carlos. Oh, nightmare. Nightmare. That is it for this week. Follow us on socials, subscribe and give us a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember to tell a football-loving friend. For queries, reach out at lefootpodcast@gmail.com. Have a great week and see you next Monday. Au revoir.